3 o'clock, we're going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Romano adopts the agenda.
Support Zinner.
Okay.
Antoinette.
Is your mic on?
No.
Can you guys hear me? I'm hot. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes dated May 13th, 2025?
Motion to approve.
Wonderful. Please vote.
And Sickle, yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is our, oh, sorry.
That's okay. Motion passes 12-0.
Cool. This is our first opportunity for public participation. This one is for those who wish to speak a maximum of 3 minutes on any item that's on the agenda today. The second opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak on any issues. Do we have any public participation for today? Any public participation? Last call? Okay, moving on. We're going to go into 6A. Can I get a motion to receive and file the Treasurer's Office 2025 First Quarterly Report?
So move.
Support.
And we,
I figured that one.
yeah, we
Good
have
afternoon.
Skip and Christina here to,
I don't have anything to report. I'm available for questions if anybody has any. Interest rates are holding a little bit above 4% right now, so that's good. And everything's going well.
Nothing to add unless you had a question.
Did Skip tell you to say that?
I came up with that all on my own.
we do have one question from
Sure.
Chair Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Christina. How are you, Skip?
Hi.
I was just looking at the investments for some of the departments.
Okay.
And we most recently have been talking a lot more about capital projects and the capital project funds.
Okay.
And I noticed how you do most of your investments is based on planning and/or based on what you're being told to handle those types of investments, correct? So more or less is a timeline. So you're investing in treasuries based on what the plan is, based on the cash flow needs of the county.
That would be correct.
Okay.
So for example, just because you're talking about capital projects, we do go out a little bit on the short end just because of the funding with the ARPA money and stuff like that. So I don't quite know when it's gonna be spent. So we have some coming due, I would think, let me see here. I don't have the current one, but we do have a large amount coming due, which I will contact finance and get with them to see approximately when they'll need it and then go out as far as I can.
Great.
So,
What I'm trying to get at is, if we're planning appropriately, we're working with finance, you're working with finance. What I'm trying to get at is we're maximizing the amount of interest that we're accruing on that money that's sitting in the bank.
yes.
Excellent.
And then if things are, if things are really volatile, I'll stick closer on the low end, with investing. If, it just depends on what's going on.
So the more
So-
information you have, the better you can utilize the investment.
Correct. And I do contact finance. I know there's some projects that they have, and I do contact them to get advice from them on when they will need that. So, yes, I do.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Great. I see no more questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
6B, can I get a motion to receive and file Finance Department 2025 First Quarterly Financial Report?
So move, and Sickle.
Any questions? I see no questions.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So you have in front of you Finance Department's quarterly report for the quarter ended March 31st, 2025. And just to provide some highlights from there, when you look at the revenue report, you obviously have a summary, and then you have it broken down by funding sources as you're familiar with. And just to talk about the general fund, you can see at the top of the report there, so far for the first quarter, we've only realized 4.83% of general fund revenues. And again, as you're familiar with, but as a reminder, a lot of our revenue sources come in at different times of the year, and they're all staggered. They're not all the same. So state revenues, I think, come in 6 times a year. Liquor taxes come in twice a year. So obviously within the first quarter, we haven't realized a lot of those revenues yet within the first quarter. So I would expect by second quarter, when I'm here in the next couple months, we'll start to see a change and see that grow. In your expenditure quarterly, obviously, and again, right now I'm just sticking with the general fund because more than likely that is the concern. So again, you have summary by fund. We break it down by personnel and operating expenses, and then a big picture of each department. General fund, just percent-wise on what we've spent out of there is just over 16%. So obviously you take a quarter, we're below expenditures if you look at 25% of expenses throughout the general fund. Next in your packet, the multitude of pages is the budget amendments that the board likes to see that we compile for you. And then you have your vacant position count that is done based off a department and is really just numbers for the various departments broken down. And then the last item is the capital plan for 2025. I do want to say too, as you can see at the top of the revenue report, right now we're projecting fund balance, and that's fund balance as of the end of the year 2024. Obviously, it's based on activity, right, as we're closing 2024 still, so that was run through everything that we've been adjusting for year end, but obviously not audited yet. Right now, we have a fund balance of approximately $119 million. And capital plan is tracking where we're tracking on the capital plan internally with projects coming before you for 2025. Again, these are only 2025 capital projects based on the $10 million that the board put in the capital outlay program for us. So that is tracking as well. A majority of those projects you see before you either via a budget amendment or then obviously actually a purchase or approval of a contract that comes in. And then I did just want to mention that I did have a conversation with both Commissioner Kraft and then also Chair Sabatini about meeting in the next couple months to see if there's adjustments that you want made to the quarterly reports. I know some of what we're required to provide certain items to the board, but I know some of those are based on ordinances from several years ago. So I thought it might be a good time to sit down with at least Commissioner Kraft and whoever else the board would like, just to kind of talk about it. We obviously want to make sure that you're getting the information that you need. If you want a real short report up here, that's good too, but obviously we don't want to produce anything that either doesn't make sense or waste our time, waste your time. So I'm expecting to have a conversation with Commissioner Kraft when he's available for that as well, and see what you're interested in seeing. And with that, I'll take any questions.
I do not see, one question. Chair Sabatini?
Thanks, Chair. Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Just to kind of continue your thoughts there in regards to our meetings that we've had. Obviously, you probably all saw the article. Jamie Cook's here in the audience today in regards to what were one of our goals. One of my goals as far as board chair was to look at all of our policies and procedures. And one of those was the financial requirements relative to the quarterly report. So it certainly is on the list. I probably haven't spoken to the commissioners that are going to be on that work group yet, but that's soon to come. So you'll be having a conversation with me soon so we can start working on that work group amongst all the other ones that have been created and will be created. So just wanted to chime in there. Thank you, Chair.
Wonderful. I see no further questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to 7A. Can I get a motion to recommend to full board a resolution 2025-13479, a resolution authorizing the county treasurer to delegate employees of their staff to file for and represent Macomb County in small claims collection cases as permitted by Michigan law.
Support.
We have Skip and Christina.
Hi. Yeah, Commissioners, this is pretty straightforward. Michigan law allows the county to proceed in small claims court upon approval of the Board of Commissioners to have employees do so. We have 4 collection members within our personal property tax division that also spills over into our general tax collections. They're pretty adept at this. As we understand it, there are no claims being pursued in this category in small claims. And generally speaking, there's no claims being pursued at all for escheated funds. I believe it was Commissioner Van Sickle brought this to our attention last year. We did memo the board. We'll have the opportunity to try and research these monies, and to the extent that we can collect them, we will. But we certainly believe that monies that are due the county should be pursued. And although we have a very talented staff up at Corp Counsel, anything under $7,000 as the current statutory limit, we'd pursue. If there was a move to general jurisdiction, then Corp Counsel would take over. They've been advised, they're happy with the idea. It's up to you as to whether or not you'll give us the authority to do that, and Larry will, Treasurer Rocca will make those appointments, and we'll move forward from there.
All right, we have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Commissioner Perna?
Skip, on the small claims court with
Excuse
Macomb.
me, Mr. Prentice, could you speak into the microphone so we can all hear you? Thank you.
When Macomb County gets a small claims case, is that after it's gone through the local municipalities and then it comes to Macomb?
No, it won't go to Macomb. What happens in small claims is there's a jurisdiction, typically it's where the business is conducted or where the defendant resides or conducts business. We would file in, within Macomb County, typically. Let's say in Clinton Township, we had somebody that owed money in Clinton Township, we'd file in the local district court, that would be assigned to small claims. And usually it's adjudicated by a magistrate.
What is the resolution court?
I'm not familiar with that at all. That term is resolution court, I don't know.
There was a case in Clinton Township that was small claims, and it goes to resolution court first. And if that's not decided through a arbitrator, then it goes to Macomb County. Did you ever hear of that?
My uneducated guess would be it's not arbitration because that's a full and final disposition. What it probably is a mediation. They call it resolution court. They have an attorney or somebody assigned as a mediator to try and resolve the issue without the need for a formal hearing and order.
Mr. Perna, if I may, I used to sit on that resolution. It's not a court, it's a group that makes a recommendation to both parties, and if those parties don't agree, then it ends up in small claims court. Their office is right across the street here.
Right. That's not your court. That's not the Macomb County court. The resolution court, if it's not agreed upon, then it goes through small claims?
Yes.
You partially answered my question. Thank you.
I got halfway there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good, Commissioner Perna?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Commissioner Howard?
Hey, quick question. For the 2024 Michigan claims list, it lists the unclaimed property in Macomb. believe it or not, I actually had a resident reach out to me specifically on this issue about a month ago. They live in Lisa's district though, and actually brought it up and calculated the dollar amount of unclaimed property that Macomb County has, this only stops at 2024. Is this like an annual thing that we do every year? So we've gone back prior to like 2023, 2022.
The state of Michigan issues an escheats list every year. It's properties or monies that are unclaimed, could be checks or other negotiable instruments. And if our staff can track down which department it was that money would be due to, there's an online claim form we can file. And if everything goes right, we get a check for that amount payable to the county treasurer. Goes into the.
So would it just be safe to assume that this is just an annual thing that you guys do, so I can let those folks
Yes,
know?
we would start doing that,
Thanks, awesome. Thank you.
of course.
All right. Sarah, you took that question. All right, I have no further questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you.
Now we're moving on to 7B. Can I please get a motion to recommend to full board of another resolution, 2025-13602, a resolution to authorize the City of St. Clair Shores to collect the 2025 winter tax levy on the 2025 summer tax bill for all parcels with a total tax bill of $100 or less.
Motion center. Support this,
Wonderful. Skip.
State law allows a community that has a winter tax bill of under $100 to add that into the summer tax bill so that they're not duplicating mailings for tax bills that would be under $100. St. Clair Shores passed that resolution. It requires board approval for them to take the winter tax bill under $100, add it to the summer tax bill. And this is an annual requirement. We've been doing it for a number of years.
See no questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Next, we have, I'm going to take 7C and D, budget amendment, Finance Department to increase contract services from fund balance not to exceed $391,950. Special Projects Advisor, Vicky, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Wonderful. Vicky?
Thank you very much again. Before you, you have two items, obviously the budget amendment and then the proposal from Plant Moran to continue their services. Back in February, I was before the board and you approved a contract with them for auditing services, some accounting services for the annual audit, as well as the 2023 single audit and the 2024 single audit. Based on the progress that we've been making through the annual audit, they have basically utilized most of that funding just within the annual audit. There are a couple of areas too that we recognize through the process where we could use continued assistance. So we spoke with them about staying on and providing those services. So this proposal, the first one actually ended, I think, June 2nd. This proposal would take us through the end of this year, and it would continue to finish up for the annual audit services, as well as the single audits, and then also help us with bank reconciliations. The board is aware that that's been one of the struggles within the finance department for a few years. With Plant Moran's help, they were able to help us respond quicker and get through the bank recs for 2024, but we would like them to stay on and continue to help us with that, look at new processes for that, train some staff on how to do those processes as well and get us in a better position. And then also we have an area within community development block grant out of the planning department, Stephanie Burgess's program. And we need some assistance there and some expertise in handling that grant, or in how we've done it in the past, and ways we can approve it within the future. And then that's basically it in those areas with the audit. I will say, if you haven't heard, the audit is going to be late again this year, so we have requested an extension from the state. It has been approved. We asked through the end of August of this year, and we were approved through the end of July, which is not uncommon, that it's 30 days notice. They like to go kind of on a month by month basis. We have made improvements. We are much better than where we were at last year. UHY is working, the finance department is working, but just where we were at in some areas, and again, particularly in those bank reconciliations, we recognize that we were not going to make the deadline of June 30th. So I just wanted to let the board members know that as well. So our goal and our plan is that, obviously, with the help of Plant Moran, we'll be a better place at the end of this year, in a better position for next year, and not need these services, along with many other things that we're implementing and working on within the department. So this proposal will greatly help us get through that pace and where we're at, and continue through the end of the year. And with that, I'll take any questions.
We do have one question so far. Commissioner Goike?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Vicky. With this amount of money that's putting down, is this considered for like 6 FTEs till the end of the year? Is that how that amount of money is based on to get us there? Because where I'm going to with this is, to expedite it, can they put on, 12, and it'd still be the same amount of money, but we can get this audit done at a quicker pace? Educate me on how the financing of this.
So from the annual audit standpoint, at this point, considering this week where we're at, everything will have turned over to UHY at this point. Our target. UHY is the county's auditors. So
Okay.
Plant Moran was brought in to help us, help
Okay.
finance staff. We couldn't have UHY do that piece. So basically this week, everything will have been turned over to UHY. They've been working on our audit. We've been giving them items over the course of the past month and a half. The piece that we were missing was the bank reconciliations that tie into the general fund, so our largest bank account, our largest fund, if you will. So for the finishing up of the audit, right now, we're going to be in a state where it's really going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of testing with UHY, and between Plant Moran and the staff that we have in finance. I don't think adding any more Plant Moran staff's really going to help with that. And some of it, when you're looking at the item, it's not necessarily one also where just add more staff and that will help speed it up. You need to make sure you have the right staff. You only want to make sure you have a certain number of staff working on it so they don't confuse one another with what we're doing. So from the point of being late and trying to get it done by June 30th, we're past that point. So in working with UHI, talking to them with where they know where we're at, where we believe we're at, we're hoping and estimating that we'll be able to turn the annual audit in by the end of July. But that still remains to be seen once they get all of our final bank recs in. So the amount of time in here is roughly, I believe it's 2,010 hours. So if you look at that, roughly that's one full-time person for the rest of the year. And yes, that'll include helping with the annual audit, but then also the 2 single audits that are due, as well as the other areas I mentioned for the CDBG program, and spreading that out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's just that, unless I'm into the nuts and bolts with you, as a business person, and, having some experience in this is like prioritizing to get it done, whether or not we can break it down into different things. But I can see, on certain stuff, you got to keep the same people involved with it to get it. I get that. It's just outside, we're looking in, and it's like, hey, we're spending a lot of money, you know, and this total amount should get it capitalized out, but why can't we double up on the employees to get it done quicker?
Sure.
That's
Yep,
where
no.
I'm coming from.
Nope, sure, understand. Yep.
And thank you for the education.
No, you're welcome.
Chair Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Just kind of following up with Vicky's thoughts there. I've been working with Vicky and the Finance Department in regards to this issue, getting our audit done in a timely manner. We certainly are in a better place since Vicky has come on board and helped with this project and transition. Obviously, we're still looking for a finance director. So, you know, there's certainly some heavy lifting that's within this department, and that's what Plant Moran's really here to help us with to get us through this year so that we are fully reconciled and don't have this situation next year. So the intent here is a good one to get the finance department where it needs to be. And I'm supporting this, and I have been working with Vicky and team to get it to this position amongst our auditors. So it's been a collective effort. So thank you, Vicky, for all your hard work on it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I will say I do like the fact that Commissioner Kraft and Chair Sabatini have been working so closely, just keeping us aware of what's happening and being included, and Plant Moran being able to get the department where it needs to be and hopefully take it from there with training and everything that needs to happen. Everything that you said, I think, is very, very helpful. My question is, with the extension, does it look like we will make this extension?
I'm hopeful, yes.
All right. Yeah, I think that is, and then my last question, when the audits are done, will we get a breakdown?
Yes, you'll get a report from the audit and the advert that comes in, so yes, yep.
Okay. All right, that was my last question. I don't see any other questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I see for our next ones, we're going to group all of the vehicle purchases together. So can I get a motion to recommend 7E to 7O to full board?
Sorry, Kim.
Everyone is
Support,
for
Vicky.
that one. Okay, so we do have, like I said, quite a few, and we have Vicky here to go over anything that needs to be gone over and answer any questions.
Sure, thank you, once again. Nicole could not make it today. She had something previously scheduled, so myself and Mark Chomentowski are here to talk about these items, as well as Andrew Cox is here for the Health Department vehicle at the bottom, as that's a little different. I don't know if you want me to present on each one. Obviously, they're pretty standard from the departments. The funding's all laid out. She does a really good job laying those out. I think we've talked about some of them with the budget amendments that we've worked on that were brought last month for the sheriff's vehicles that are part of contracts, and then also working through the funding set aside for within the capital outlay program. Again, we worked with Chair Sabatini, Vice Chair Ha, and Commissioner Kraft about bringing all the vehicles at once this year, again, with concerns of the tariff going on. So that's why, too, we packaged them and worked on getting them all here today. And yes, everything is normal wear and tear on replacements, or the mileage is high. Anything that Nicole can salvage and maybe have another department to use is considered as well. That will happen. And then I know at a previous meeting too, a question was asked too about auction. And yes, if there's a vehicle, again, to be salvaged, if a department can't use it, she does put it in the auction and try to get the county money back for that as well. And with that, we'll take any questions that you may have.
Okay, we have a few questions. Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Hi, Vicki.
Hello.
Vicki, I'm looking at the purchases, and I'm looking at the dealerships. And it seems to me that more than not, we always have this Todd Wenzel and this guy from Owosso, this Lunghamer. I know this is sent out for bids. Are they that far apart from local Macomb County dealers that we keep going to these people?
It's the state bid process, correct?
It's part, they're
Come
awarded.
on to the
Yeah,
microphone,
you can
please.
come out.
Please turn that on. I think the whole time is off.
No, the green light
Yep, it's on.
is me. Yeah.
Speak right into the microphone there. Thank you.
I don't know if it's working.
That sound like it's on.
I don't understand that. Say it again. No, I heard what you said. I just don't understand what that means.
Fleet operations.
Excuse me, go ahead.
For their respective makes and models, Ford or Chevy, they were awarded by the state of Michigan their operations bids for those types of vehicles. Those are cooperative bids, so we're leveraging those.
So we're actually using the state of Michigan as a leverage, or that's, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Vicky, you want to explain maybe?
Sure, I think it's part of, again, yes, trying to leverage the bids, a type of cooperative, and that, yes, because it goes out under mitten and through the state is able, vendors applying through the state mitten system know that there's the potential for multiple vehicles, right? More than probably just obviously in Macomb. So in particular in vehicles, vendors are looking at having access to probably thousands across the state. So the thought process is that they are going to provide the lowest pricing than we could generally get with a dealership here. And I know there's some issues, whether Mark can speak to it or we can, follow up with Nicole, just because I know some departments as well. Going and buying a vehicle off the lot is a question that comes up a lot of times. Well, hey, I can walk into a dealership. Well, you can, but that's always not apples to apples either, depending on, the features that you want or the features that they have to offer. So while that may seem like a good option, it also then makes it harder to purchase. One, just based on procurement policies that we have, right, for going out to bid. So while individually, maybe 1-to-1 from time to time, it might be a little higher price. Collectively, based on the vehicles that we buy, it's a better value. Going through Mitten, and just because they can leverage the quantity and, with the vendors coming in. And we use Mitten's, our system that we use for a variety of different,
So do Macomb dealers
purchases.
also have access to this bidding process through Michigan?
yes.
And this Todd Wenzel and apparently whoever Lunghamer is also has access to the same thing, and they keep coming in lower than people from Macomb County?
Correct.
There's that much disparity in price. You know where I'm going with that. I'd like
Oh,
to see-
correct. I
I'd like to see
totally
Macomb County
understand,
get the
but
business.
yes. Yes.
There's that much disparity in price. We'll talk about this some more. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ha?
Thank you, Chair. I think with Mitten, and you touched on it, Vicky, it's quantity, the bulk, because the local municipalities use the same system to purchase their vehicles as well. So it's just not price. They have the advantage of offering thousands of vehicles to various municipalities for usage.
Correct. Yes.
Lastly, you did mention this is our bring it all one time and get it done. So unless there's some major disaster, we don't expect to see purchase of police or emergency vehicles the rest of this year. Correct?
Correct, unless there's accidents or things like that. I'm looking for I think I do have, just if you guys know me well, this is Nicole's internal fleet vehicle sheet. I made sure every vehicle, there's a highlight, there's a check mark. That is her sheet that she prepares every year as part of the capital planning process. And yes, I mean, she does a thorough job, yes, but barring an accident or something new happening, a new contract with the local law enforcement agency, that's different. But yeah, for replacement type vehicles and even some new ones, like for public works and that's the complete
Be
list.
sure to tell Nicole thank you.
Yes, we'll
That's all
do.
I have, Chair.
Thank you. I have just one quick question for Andrew on this O for the exam room and blood draw mobile clinic.
Good afternoon,
Good
Commissioner.
afternoon. I saw you back there, so why not? So can you explain this a little bit? It's going to really be an exam room for, like, you just go to the patients, or is it specific patients, or?
Yeah, it's really going to be suited for, I think, most patients. It's even got a wheelchair lift for accessibility as well that will help provide that accessibility to the community. One of the things that we've talked about over and over in these meetings over time is going out to the community and being in the community more. This vehicle is going to allow us just to do just that. We're going to be able to go out to events, whether it be school events or senior events or any kind of events that we can get out and just have accessibility for individuals to get care. A lot of this is going to be vaccinations, but we're also going to be using it for the new kindergarten oral health program to get assessments for oral health. That we can use that space for. So it's going to be a multi-purpose utilization of this vehicle. We know it's a big purchase, but we really feel strongly that it's it's going to be well worth it, the investment, to be able to get us out in the community more.
Yeah, I love that. I think this is a great idea. And just to be community advocates, I know you have been at Mount Clemens school events and given, immunizations and things like that. So I think to have this will be great and get people away from the crowd or them the kids walking into the room where they know they're going to get a shot. I think it's great. I do have a last minute question here from Commissioner Howard.
I was going to touch on what you just said at the very end. I've used the Oakland County one at several events. We're using it next Saturday. The Oakland County one is going to be at an event that I'm hosting, and it makes a huge difference. You already have a crowd of people there at a community event, and now health services. And so I think this is just such a huge asset, whether folks have issues with transportation or a variety of other reasons, being able to meet them where they're at and solve their problems, I think is just such a huge asset for the county, and it accomplishes what all you're trying to do in your department.
Thanks, Commissioners, and I'd like just to add that it is all grant funded as well. So that's
Even
a huge,
better.
huge benefit for us.
Thank you. I see no further questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to 8A and B. Can I get a motion to receive and file both of those?
Support.
Thank you. That is the Central Intake and Assessment Center. Sorry, I did not say that, but thank you for that. And am I done? We have one question.
Thank you, Chair. I know we have Don here in the audience. Don, you come to these meetings regularly, and I just wanted to recognize Don just because behind the scenes, this project, the countless amount of hours that go on that no one really knows, Don is part of those meetings all the time. I don't think he misses one meeting, literally. I just wanted to recognize Don. Is there anything, Don, that you want to just update the board on that's happened most recently? I know the project's going as planned and everything has been working accordingly with all the contractors and everything like that, but while you're here, why not give us a quick little update?
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate your comments. I'm proud to say that the cooperation and the working between the county executive's office, the sheriff's office, and this board of commissioners is just truly outstanding. I've been associated with Macomb County in a variety of roles since 1973 when I first came here from New York as a probation officer. And the collaboration and the working together is really showing in this project. It's just unbelievable. The project is on time. It's within budget. We have over 200 people that are working every day on this particular project, and it's a tremendous success so far. There's always something that could happen. We realize that with any kind of construction project, but we're really blessed as a county of how well it's all coming together to serve the needs of not only the inmates, but more importantly, the public itself, whereby people who are in need of mental health services, that have substance disorders, being treated, and for the protection of our public is just tremendous. What this Board of Commissioners has done in approving this project some 18 months ago has just been fabulous. I'm just proud to say that I'm serving with you and making it happen and looking forward to success. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks, Don. I mean, now we actually can kind of see something being built over there too. So it's, we're watching closely. So, and I know, is that the new crane?
Right, the new crane is really, really huge. The building is coming up out of the ground. We're about to ready to start the second floor. The maximum security wing of the facility built in 1970, as well as the original jail cells were built in 1954, are scheduled to be demolished in the middle of July. That's a tremendous step forward too in terms of the whole construction and the progress that's being made. It's been absolutely great.
Thanks, Don, for the update.
Thank you. I really
Chair.
appreciate this board and what they've done. Thank you.
Thank you. I see no further questions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. I'm going to pass this over to Vice Chair Haw for Government Oversight Committee.
Thank you, Chairperson. First item on the Government Oversight Committee agenda is I'm going to alter the agenda item just slightly so that it's open for discussion on the Older Adult Advisory Committee.
Chair, I'll make a motion to move this item to the September 9th Government Ops Committee, and I'll discuss it if there's support.
Support Van Sickle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So this item is actually being referred from the OAAC, and there's another survey that's actually being conducted through Senior Services for Elder Abuse. And I do want Commissioner Zinner and Commissioner Perna to speak on this, but I didn't want it removed from today's agenda because I thought some discussion was necessary, just to advise everybody in the sense that this survey recommendation has come to us from the OAAC. As we all know, the OAAC is a committee that operates through this board, and this is a recommendation that's being brought to us by them. However, there is more discussion, I think, that committee wants to have, and to my understanding, the elder abuse survey that is being conducted is going to be completed by the end of this month. And Sheila Cote, Director for Senior Services, is handling that survey and is also scheduled for the August OAAC committee meeting. So she'll be speaking at that board. Long story short, the committee, to my understanding, would like to talk and get more understanding of that survey and what the results are. And it's the perfect opportunity for them to do that before this survey is conducted. So I'll defer, Chair, if I may, to Commissioner Zinner, and she can talk a little bit more about this. But I just kind of wanted to set the table for everyone here.
Barb, if you would like, we could defer to your elder Commissioner Perna to see if he wants to speak first.
Well, I think I'll speak first, and very happy to have the vice chair second, if that's all right.
Thank you.
We've been working at the Older Adults Advisory Committee on the social isolation. Tom Matthews over there has given us tons of information about that. According to a lot of the information that I've seen publicly, and what we've heard with specialists coming in, the isolation is not, actually it's more for the younger people, and then the age between young people and older adults is still high. It's still quite high. Social isolation probably has been around since the beginning of time. However, our lifetime now, the way our lifetime is, it could be considered different. And that's the concern, is that are some of our older adults having social isolation? And we're very free here in Macomb County. We don't like government intrusion. But as commissioners, we reach out to our people, or they reach out to us. That's what we do. We're here for our citizens. And that's the concern, is sending a survey that they can answer some questions. There's not a lot of questions on it, but reaching out to bridge a gap that some people may have. They may be in a situation that's called social isolation. A lot of us see this in our neighborhood. My husband passing last year, my having knee surgery, I started having feelings of, am I socially isolated? Couldn't get out of the house. And I thought, geez, and I started thinking about my neighbors and other people. And I thought, people have always dealt with it, but things are a little different now. And the other areas of our government, Sheila Cote and the other justice area, they are in, especially the justice area, that is more of a criminal concern. That's not a survey that we would be doing something like that. Ours is very different. It's very, very, very gentle survey. And Sheila Cote, she has a lot of things to offer. I mean, in that elder area, there's a lot of things that she has to offer in her survey, I'm sure. We have things in a different frame because we work with our people, as all of our government people do. We're just different. And I think it would be good to reach out. But also, on the vote we just had, 12 people out of 14 agreed. They wanted to reach out to our citizens, and they sent that to this board. And over the time period, we were going back and forth about it, but that's the way it was. 12-2, that really wanted to promote this through the board. So I hope that you will consider that and just reach out to our citizens. Maybe Commissioner Perna would like to follow up because he's very bright.
I'll add to,
Are you concluded, Commissioner?
Sorry, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Perna, would you like to speak?
yes, I will add to what Commissioner Zetter said, that in the last couple of months, I believe, and I've only been on the committee a couple, 3 months now, that the Adult Older Advisory Committee now I think it's more unified now in the last couple of months, that we've come together of why we are here. What's the purpose of our existence? And I do support what Chair Sabatini said, let's wait till September. And the reason is, there's been multiple surveys that have been done. What questions should we be asking? We have our survey, the committee had their survey, some other communities have their surveys. And to come back with the right survey that this Board of Commissioners is going to approve to send out at no cost. And I believe that postponing it 1 or 2 months is not the end of the world. I think the end result is going to be, we are going to address all the concerns of the seniors, be it isolation or medical or what have you. And I think that we really come a long ways in the last 2 or 3 months because we finally are unified what we really want for the county. And with that, I'm going to tag on Mr. Matthews here because he's been really one of the strongest advocates we have on this committee. And would you like to add to what I'm saying? The only limit is 3 minutes. Go ahead. No.
Thank you, Chairman Perna.
Honorable Commissioners and staff, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you. Let me start with a story. Things begin with a story. Last February, I was in a restaurant in northern Washington Township. Now, I like people. I like to talk to people. That's why I'm here on this OAAC. I met a lady in the next booth. I told her the research I was doing on my own before I took it to the committee. And you know what she told me? I have no one. I have no one. To hear that in the wealthiest country on the planet is inexcusable and incomprehensible. And that's not the only instant I've seen of this. Now, we have to do something for our citizens. In February, we were shown data from Dr. Thomas Jankowski, demographic data going out to 2050. There's a huge increase in the older population, especially in Michigan and especially in people over 85 years old. We're going to have a problem. Now, let me share something with you. You all know that I'm a member of the board of directors of Ageways. In January of this year, I have the documents I'm going to share with you. They started a behavioral health program encompassing various areas. And what do you think it includes? Social isolation. It's a real problem that goes all the way to the US government. Do an internet search under Dr. Vivek Murthy and read his 83-page report on the subject. I think you'll get a great education by reading that report. Is that my time?
No.
Thank you very much, both you, Commissioner, I'm sorry, Perna and Zinner. This is very nice for you to, I've worked hard on this. Believe me, you can't imagine how hard I've worked. So, okay, and by the way, I did get a commendation from Washington Township supervisor on my work in the Older Adult Committee. He sent me a complete proclamation. I was completely blown away. And you know why I got that? One of the reasons, I like to build relationships with people. I like to talk to people. I like to hear what they have to say, and I want them to hear what I have to say. That's the way the world works. Look at Ronald Reagan and how he worked. What they call him, the great communicator. And he did his job by communicating. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seeing no further speakers, I have a motion to move the discussion on the survey recommendation to the September Government Oversight meeting. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is our second of the two public hearings. This is an opportunity for anyone to speak on any county subject matter for a maximum of 3 minutes. Anyone from the public wish to be heard?
Sorry, I missed something. I'd like to commend Commissioner Sabatini for his comments he made to me in January when I asked for the survey. These are his comments. Quote, "We are going to help you." Thank you, all of you, and thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, we will close public hearing. Next is commissioners' comments. Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to mention that in Harrison Township, and you may have seen this on the news or in the paper, there's I would say a medium-sized, a large-sized water park. It's called Waterfront Park on Jefferson, near the bottom of the township heading towards St. Clair Shores. It's been there quite a long time. Needed some work, and they put through an area. What they wanted to do was they put out a pier. They redid the structure of fishing, and they had a boat, not a boathouse, but a bathroom house holding, cleaning things, for the area. And they had a mural done. And the mural was done, painted, designed by a young man artist through the DIA. And it's really very beautiful. It's, in fact, Senator Hertel and I were looking, and you couldn't tell. And I said, "Do you think that's a Mako or a whaler?" Because that was a little bit fudged up to not say. And so we were excited about the boat and the picture, and being on water. You've seen that for so long, and it was great. And on the boat, and the whole blue scenario was just gorgeous. And the man and woman in the picture are holding birthday cakes. You see the candles, and that's his scenario was, will you figure out what that is for? What it's for, he said, is we have things every year that are happy for us. We enjoy our boating and we enjoy our life. So every year, think of the happy things that happened to you that year. So it was nice. It was a nice get together, and I think it's not quite open yet, but it's open soon because they have music coming. It's just a nice thing to have, and I think there was something else I was going to tell you, and I forgot what it was. All right, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. I would just like to compliment Commissioner Wallace on handling a very lengthy agenda today. Seeing no other speakers, I need a motion to move into closed session to discuss U.S. District Court case number 21-12729.
Motion to go to closed session?
Support.
A motion by Commissioner Gratz, supported by Commissioner Van Sickle. Next item on the agenda is settlement agreement, U.S. District Court case number 21-12729. I need a motion.
I'll make a
Motion,
motion to accept Corporation Counsel's recommendation.
support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Lucido, supported by Commissioner Romano. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Next item with Mr. Perna's permission is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
We have motion support. All in favor, we are adjourned.
You.
Good.
Good for a treat tomorrow.